Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Let's see, let's get Instagram going real quick. Hello, friends, welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. As you are tuning in, as always, for our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge, I would love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite lessons learned in today's meeting with our board. Let's see, Eric, nice to see you. Welcome. Yolanda, welcome. Justino, welcome. Hello from India. Hello. Naeem, Yasmin, welcome. Sherry, welcome. Jesse. As you're tuning in, love to know again, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Hello from Texas. I'm in Texas right now. I like it here. Paulina from Chicago, welcome. Hola. Hello, friends. So today's lesson it's a simple one, but it's really specific. And I want you to write this down because I wrote it down and I loved it. And it's really simple. Cancun, Mexico, welcome. Houston, Texas, India, waves. Janice is grateful for my coworkers, amazing international food, and of course my job from Tennessee, welcome. AJ, welcome. Hello from Encinitas, what's up? Hey, Harmit, how you doing, man? Hello from Nebraska. Hello from Phoenix, grateful for my family, my love, positivity on a daily basis. Let's see. Good evening from Salt Lake City. Nice to see you. So here is, hello from Manipur. Welcome. AJ, welcome. So here's today's lesson. It's short and sweet, but it's really important. And it's, let me read it real quick. I want to make sure I get it right. It's one of my favorite lessons from today. A description for a destination is not a substitution for a roadmap. And I think the consistent pull from today was so often we have the goal or the vision of what we're after, and many times we lack the specific tactical steps we're going to take to actually make it real. So if you listened into yesterday's Instagram Live or Facebook Live, depending on where you're watching, we talked about drilling down. So this is the goal. Here's the plan. Here's the immediate step I can take. Okay, great. Now the plan is going to become the goal. This is the new plan. This is the immediate step I could take. Okay. Again, and you keep taking these three concepts and moving them down until you get to the thing you can do right now to make the magic happen. And this helps create the plan. The other part of the plan, though, is going to be the specific metrics you must uphold to have a chance at getting the result you want. So if you had a business and you're trying to get the business from making $100,000 a month to $500,000 a month, the question becomes, what is the specific plan I would need to make that happen? Now, a plan isn't to sell 50 more clients into my X, Y, and Z service. That's the top. That's the goal. So then what's the plan? What do you got to do to sell 50 more clients into your, top tier service? Okay, great. Then what can you do right now to sell 50 clients into your top tier service? And then you got to go down the level and say, okay, so my plan is to sell 50 clients. The plan is to call X amount of people, to set X amount of meetings, to do X amount of, flyers or mailers. Okay, great. What I can do right now is map out the plan, designate who's in charge of what. Okay, great. Let's take it down. So then the outcome is to mail out the flyers, contact X amount of people, make X amount of meetings. The plan is then to figure out who's in charge of what, to put it in place and put it on the calendar. And then what's the executable? The executable is to make sure that we've written it out, it's organized, and by tomorrow, X has happened. And what happens is that process of getting the measurable numbers in place, it gives you the ability to actually have a plan that says, here's where I am right now, and here's exactly where I'm going to be, and this is the exact roadmap I'm going to be walking, or path I'm going to be using to get to the result that I want specifically. So this is really useful. So I would ask you in the comment section real quick, whatever the number one thing is that you're optimizing for, I would ask you to figure out where are you, where do you want to be, and use those 3 steps we talked about yesterday of drilling down to get all the way down to the thing you can do right now, this moment, to make progress, to eventually get the result and be on the path of progress to the destination that you really want. And if you keep practicing that process again and again and again and again and again, you're just going to keep moving forward until eventually you're exactly where you want to be. Let's see, questions. Do we make a plan or a notebook or a chart board for the wall to see what's more effective? Use them all. Figure out what works for you. Love it. Good to hear. So I'll take a couple questions if there are any. If not, it's late here and I've got to go speak for one of our clients tomorrow. I just want to make sure I stay consistent on our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. We're on day number 4, and the difference between a roadmap and a destination. And so just a reminder, a description for a destination, meaning the description of where you want to land up, is not a substitute for the roadmap of how to get there. So just because you have a description of I want to make $1 million by this time, that's a description. That's not the roadmap. You're going to need to figure out the exact roadmap to actually add up to that, meaning the daily, tangible, applicable metrics that are going to actually get you there. How big should your goals be? So there's a difference between your vision and your goals. I always say your vision should be your North Star, so big, so bright, so shining and amazing that it guides the journey the whole way. A goal or a target or a finish line should be like the end of a marathon, meaning there's a specific place you want to land up by a certain time on a certain day. That means now you can work it backwards and look at all the mile markers that you're going to have to hit along the way to get there. And when you have your finish line and then you have your mile markers, you can now put time in place and say, in order for me to finish on the finish line to make my $1 million this year, I'm going to have to get to X amount of sales, CPC, revenue generated within the first 30 days. Now, if it gets to the first 30 days, mile 1 out of a 12-mile, half-mile marathon, I guess we're doing here, if it gets to mile 1 and you're ahead of schedule, high five yourself and keep going. If it gets to mile 1 and you're behind schedule, you got to start adjusting the plan to pick up the pace, just like in a marathon or running race. If it gets to mile 1 and you're exactly on schedule, keep going. Now, eventually, you're going to get to mile 2. By month number 2, you should have X amount completed. And what's happening is as you map out this year, 12-month run, each month is giving you a specific metric that you must uphold in order to get to the finish line by the time you want to finish the race. And so that's part of this process we're talking about here is the roadmap. In order to get to the finish line, you need the specific roadmap that's going to get you there so you can time it, you can measure it, you can track it. I think my second favorite story that Keith told today, he said he was out golfing with this famous golfer guy. And at one point, they went to golf and he says, well, what's your handicap, which is how many strokes above par do you need to do your thing? And Keith said, I stopped counting. And the guy leaned in and said, oh, so you stopped wanting to improve. That's okay. I know people who've done that too. And he says the only people who stopped counting and stopped measuring are people who are no longer interested in growing or improving. And so this is another thing for those of you who have your business or your job or whatever you're focused on. The key becomes you have to be measuring. You have to measure what you're doing every day, and you got to figure out what's actually causing the difference. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to go get some food, have some meetings, get ready for tomorrow, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully to do another live session with you. So have a great evening, morning, afternoon. See y'all soon.